What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. The topic for today is how to approach a woman and make her fall in love with you. All right. Just to start this off, I want to say that literally all my success with women has been from cold approach. All right. So literally every single romantic relationship or sexual relationship I've had with women has started off with me approaching that woman as a cold approach. So when I say cold approach, I mean this is a woman that doesn't know who I am. She's not from my social circle. She's not, a friend of a friend or this and that. These are women that I've either met at a grocery store, at a mall, at the club, right? Those have been my relationships. They all started from cold approach. So, I've had, some relationships that ended up, where the girl's like, oh, I'm in love, And so I'm just going to break down how I was able to create that, because for me, my relationships were not accidents, okay? They were all created through my masculine energy and expression and intention applied to make the shit happen, okay? I was not one of those guys who just naturally ended up in a relationship. Nope. I had to make a conscious decision that I wanted to get women, and I had to go and get them, and I did it through cold approach. So let's start with the beginning of the approach. When you approach a woman, the beginning of the approach is not about making her fall in love with you. The beginning is about creating attraction. It's about turning her on where she doesn't even really have control over it, because you're triggering something in her that she's wired to respond to in a sexual way. Okay? So there's some qualities, some behavior traits, some qualities that you can demonstrate that will trigger attraction in a woman. And you have to pay attention to her body language and how she's responding to you, because she's not going to verbally give it away. She's not going to say, hey, I'm feeling attraction for you. You got to pay attention to how she's responding to you. So once you understand what the qualities are that trigger attraction in a woman, you want to implement them in your character, and then when you approach a woman, display them. So in the mystery method, he gave us 5 that I actually use and I recommend because they're powerful and they work. Okay, the 5 traits that you want to demonstrate when you're communicating to a woman. First one is preselection. So somehow, some way, she needs to get that you're already getting women, and not just that you're already getting women. She has to get that you're getting women in a sexual way, meaning women are interested in you sexually. She needs to get that. Okay, you can't come off as if, oh, I'm not getting any women, that's why I'm approaching you, because I'm in scarcity and I haven't been with a woman in years. And if you communicate that, she's not going to feel attraction. She's actually going to be repelled, okay? Because she's supposed to, by nature, seek out the best man she has access to. So if you demonstrate that you're not getting any women, by definition, you must not be the best man she could get with, because the best man that she could get with would be getting women, right? Because when a man demonstrates value, he gets women. So pre-selection, you got to demonstrate somehow. Obviously, you don't brag about it. It's in your communication. It's in your demeanor, in your body language, your eye contact, your tonality, your response to her communication, and your proactiveness and your groundedness. Like all of that signals, okay, this has to be a guy that gets women, right? So pre-selection. The next one is leader of men, right? Somehow demonstrate that you are a leader, okay? So you may not be able to lead men in the environment, but your vibe, your attitude, the way you communicate, the way you carry yourself, you can communicate in a way where it's like, okay, this guy, he seems like he's the type of guy that people would follow, right? Because of your confidence, because of your certainty in your voice, the certainty in your eye contact, the certainty in your demeanor, your mannerisms, right? So leader of men. Third one, protector of loved ones. She needs to feel like you're the type of guy that protects the people he cares about. You're the type of guy that steps up when there's a threat in the environment. You're not a pussy. You're not going to run away. You're not going to cower. You're not going to bow down easily. You'll defend the ones that you love, and you'll put yourself in harm's way, but it's because you're a protector of loved ones. All right, you need to demonstrate that in your vibe as well. The other one is healthy emotion. She needs to feel like, okay, this guy is healthy emotionally. So you need to, when you're communicating to a woman, it's like you want to show a range of emotions. You want to show that you can, smile. You want to show that you can be serious. You want to show that you can laugh. You want to show that maybe in your storytelling that you know, sometimes you get sad or things happen to you. You want to show you're a healthy emotional guy, right? You don't want to show up and you're just super tough the whole time or super hardcore. Like she wants to see, that, okay, this is not like a cycle or some shit like that. All right. And the last one is successful risk taker. Successful risk taker, that one's not hard to pull off because just the fact that you're approaching a woman, a lot of times that kind of hits the successful risk taker thing. Like you're risking potential rejection. And if you do it in like a bold way, it's going to be obvious that you must be the type of guy that takes risk and shit like that, or else you wouldn't be comfortable or confident walking up to a stranger, especially if she's attractive, and being able to stay confident and comfortable. Right? So you want to hit those 5. If you hit those 5s, you're going to trigger attraction in her. Depending on the woman, there will be different levels of attraction, but you just pay attention to her body language, how she's responding. If she's smiling, if she's giggly, if she's being feminine and submissive, that means she is submitting to your masculine energy. If she is not being feminine, if she's not being receptive, if she's not being bubbly, then she's not submitting. She's actually demonstrating that she's not convinced, like she's not attracted, like you haven't demonstrated any dominance over her. And so she's either probably gonna shit test you in some way, or she may just not be interested, right? And so but that's the game, right? The game is, you're gonna have some women, they have 3 categories of women. You're gonna have the yes women. Those are the women that are gonna be like pretty quick yeses. Like if you demonstrate those core qualities I just said, and you're clean, you got a good presentation, you're comfortable in your skin, you can communicate, like you got the basics down, and you show up and you're solid and you're strong in your masculinity, you'll get some yes girls. These are the girls that are just kind of like, okay, I see, I'm interested, okay? And there's different levels of yes girls, right? Some girls are all over you, some girls kind of over you, but yes girls. Maybe girls are the ones that are going to shit test you. They're like kind of, I don't know, you're kind of interesting, but I don't know, those are the ones that are going to shit test you a little bit. And if you overcome the shit test, then you can move the interaction forward. The no girls, these are the girls that are usually not available, right? They're not available in the sense that maybe they're in a committed relationship, or maybe they're just emotionally just not, they got too much shit going on, so they're not receptive to your masculine energy, or maybe you're just not their type at all, or maybe you're just not triggering attraction. Like it's harder. Some girls, they've been with a lot of guys, or they've dealt with a lot of guys, and so they're not that easy to trigger attraction in, because they felt that attraction, and probably the guys didn't treat them well, or basically led them into some bullshit or some shit. So now they're gonna be a little more, a little more closed off or defensive because of the past guys they've dealt with, and that's understandable. And so those girls sometimes can be no girls, because they're kind of just like, they're gonna reject you because they're like, oh, he's a bad boy, or he's probably just gonna try to have sex with me, or whatever. And it is what it is. So just understand, you have those 3 types of girls, and you got to be able to gauge who you're dealing with. Now let's say you have a yes girl, right? A yes girl is basically, how do you know you have a yes girl? If she's receptive, like I said in the beginning, like if she's feminine, receptive, and she's she's like into the vibes or whatever, you lead, you create a good vibe, you create a cool interaction, and then you take her number, man. You basically suggest, hey, I'm enjoying the vibes, I love talking to you, I'd love to hang out in the future. What's your number? And then you take her information now, okay? And then you'd move forward on that, okay? If it's a maybe girl, it's the same concept. It's just that you're gonna have to deal with more shit tests. Like she may say some shit like maybe girls, that some of the things I hear when I do cold approach, they'll say like, oh, do you approach every girl? I'm gonna just own the whole thing. So if she says, hey, do you approach a lot of girls? I say, yeah, sometimes if I see a girl that's attractive, I'll approach her. I'm not afraid. I'm not timid. I used to be shy, right? I might even tell her my story a little bit. I used to be shy, but I'm not shy anymore. If I see a woman I find attractive, I'm going to talk to her, period. Right? They're going to shit test you just to see if you break character. So, you know, you pass shit test by maintaining your character. That's it. Right? So whatever, if she says something to you and it triggers like a little fear or tension in you, and then you feel yourself about to break character, that's where you got to be like, wait, don't break character. Because if you break character, you fail the shit test. Okay? So just, if you pass her shit test, you can kind of flip a maybe girl into a yes girl. And then once you see that she's receptive, she's smiling, she's laughing, whatever, at some point you say, you know, hey, you know, actually I got to go, but I'd love to, you know, take you out for a smoothie, you know, if you want to continue conversation, what do you think? Right? If she says yes, boom. If no, walk away, move on to the next girl. All right, so let's say you get the number now. Now you got the number. Okay, you want to set up a meetup. Okay, you don't want to dilly-dally with text game. I don't believe in that. I don't think there's any point in that, right? Because you could find yourself in a friend zone just bullshitting on text game. Like, if you did a good job in that interaction, all you need to do, if you held a masculine frame and you were grounded in your masculinity and you were expressing yourself authentically and you made it obvious that you're interested in her, like, in a sexual way or a romantic way, and she actually gave you her number, that means she's submitting to that frame. So you got to hold that frame. Don't break frame, right? Even if she challenges you, don't break frame. Because if you break frame, then you lose, right? She will basically like knock you down a level. So let's say she was seeing you up here, you break frame, now she sees you here. Now every time you break frame, you keep going down. So hold your frame. You set up the date. If she's with it, then you make the shit happen. When you go on a date, essentially what you want to do is you want to maintain that character that got her in the first place, but you want to amplify it. So now you want to actually like express your character more. You know, maybe tell her stories. You know, create different moments in the date. Like, for example, one of the things I like to do is I like to go to a spot. For example, I'll go to like a smoothie spot or an ice cream spot where I can, that has like maybe a park, you know, some kind of scenery, different things to do, so I can bounce around and create an experience. Because, you know, you basically, the way how you get a girl is by creating experiences for her that you know, where she feels good, right? Where she feels good, where she's like, you know, she's having a great time, like she's able to be feminine and submissive, right? You got to demonstrate dominance over her with your masculine energy, but in a positive way that she wants to be a part of, right? So it's like, when I use the word dominance, you know, it kind of sounds aggressive, but you don't really need to be aggressive in the sense of like, you know, you're like hard with her. It's more about just leading, right? Leading with strength and holding your groundedness and bringing order to her chaos, right? So she's gonna bring chaos to the interaction, and it's like you just have to stay logical but communicate emotionally. So what do I mean by that? Like, for example, you know, if she shit tests you, like let's say you're at the smoothie place, and I don't know, maybe she asks you about a girl, your exes, like, oh, so how was your past relationships? Instead of getting defensive, like, oh, you know, that's none of your business or anything like that. But let's say it is none of her business, right? Like, you just on a first date, whatever. You could make a joke about it. You know, you could be like she's like, oh, so how are your past relationships? And you could be like, man, all my exes, man, they were horrible, man. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to talk about that. You know, you could exaggerate and like create good vibes. Like, she needs to see that you understand the game. You know what I mean? Like, and you want to demonstrate maturity. Like, I'm the type of guy that's been with women, right? Because she wants to feel like she's with the best. Remember, she is designed to get with the best guy that she has access to. So you need to demonstrate that you're the best guy she has access to. Now, how would the best guy she has access to, how would he communicate? How would he behave? He would behave like a guy who's in abundance. He would behave like a guy who doesn't give a fuck. He would behave like a guy who's secure in who he is, right? He would behave like a guy that's unbreakable confidence, grounded masculinity, authentic expression, leadership, doesn't give a fuck, bad boy, you know, but positive, but good vibe. You know, it's a combination. She can't wrap you and put you in any box. She can't put you in any friend zone because you're a different animal. you're a different beast. She what friend zone? You know, if she even thinks about a friend zone, you'll walk away. Like that should be the vibe. The second the vibe starts to feel like a friend zone, you gotta do some shit right away to break that. Right? Either start to what you call it, like kind of back off. You know what I mean? Like kind of hold your value. That's why you gotta know your value, because if you don't know your value, you'll give it up even when she's shit testing you, right? So when she shit tests you, you should challenge that shit test by throwing some emotional communication back at her, but it needs to be proactive, right? So like the example I gave when you give the joke, where you say the joke about the past relationships, it's like she gets that you've dealt with those kind of questions before. Like you've been with women, you know what I mean? And that's what you want to demonstrate, preselection. Like that's how you demonstrate preselection without saying it. Like, look at how I'm responding to your communication. Obviously, I must get women, right? Because somebody else would have folded. Somebody else would have been like, oh, my exes, oh, let me tell you about my ex. Yeah, you know, the last relationship, man, man, you know, basically here's what happened, this, that, and this and that. And then you go into this thing and you start, you know, saying shit that's unattractive and maybe start blaming the girl and all. And now you just start to look beta. You start to look weak, right? So essentially, you know, when you're on this date, man, you want to create good vibes, but you want to stay grounded in your masculinity. You want to know your frame, know that you're a sexual man. You want to be leading. You want to keynote escalate. So, like, if you see that she's vibing with you and things are going good, you know, at some point, you may want to brush your arm next to her, see how she acts. You know, when your arm touches her, like if she pulls back and shit, obviously she's still not comfortable with you. You got more work to do. If not, you know, you're like, okay, I'm getting closer. You know, at some point, maybe be like, hey, let's go over there. You grab her hand. You know, you go over there. You start. You know, you gotta lead, man. You gotta, before you even get on the date. It's like you gotta know, I'm the man. I gotta lead this shit to where I want it to go. I gotta create some great experiences for her because she needs to be stimulated emotionally. Like that's what this game of life is. It's like we're all seeking emotions. We're all seeking to feel good. Especially the woman, because she's so in tune with her emotions. So she's seeking that more so than the logic of things. Like things don't need to be super logical and super factual. It's like it just needs to feel good. It needs to be good vibes. So you create good vibes and you hold those qualities that we talked about, those 5 qualities that Mystery gave us. And then there's some other ones, like you got to demonstrate dominance over her, right? In the sense of you got to dominate the environments, right? Because you know, the thing about dominance is when somebody's dominant, and they're dominant in a secure way. So it's not like you're dominant because you have an ego. You're dominant because you know if you're a grounded masculine man who's dominant, then she can give up her masculine, go into her feminine, and that's her nature. That's where attraction is created. When the masculine energy and the feminine energy come together, and the masculine energy is strong enough, the feminine energy can, you know, basically be the masculine energy can ground out the feminine energy, and then now they complement each other, and it creates experiences, right? Like masculine and feminine come together, they can create a child. Well, when masculine and feminine come together, they can create an experience, they can create opportunity, they can create an adventure, right? But it just that masculinity needs to be grounded, it needs to be strong, or else she is not gonna give up her masculinity. She's gonna, you know, challenge you the whole time, right? So that's the game of the dating. You know, like the date. You know, it's just good vibes. You know, you really gotta be in tune with. Man, the best way for me to say it is like, you gotta be in tune with the energy, man. Like you really gotta be able to feel out the energy of the moment, because, you know, for example, guys will ask me like, how do you know when to kiss? How do you know when to do this? How do you know when to do this? You got to be present to the moment and feel out the vibe. The vibe will tell you. You just got to be ready to act on the vibe when it shows up. That's where your masculinity comes in. It's like you got to be assertive, but you got to feel out the vibe. Like you got to, when you're stuck in your head, like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this. Like, just have some clarity before you go out, like the structure of the date, but then flow. Like an example would be like, let's say you were giving a presentation, right, in school. It's like, it's better when you know what the presentation's about. Like, even to the point of memorizing it. So then you could give the presentation and just flow with it, right? Like that's pretty much how I do these Facebook Lives. It's like I know the topic, I know what I'm going to talk about, but I just flow. It's not like I have a script or anything like that. And so I just pay attention to the vibe of how, you know, while I'm communicating, like, and I just know when to say and what to do because I'm so in tune with the vibes, right? I'm so in tune with the energy. I'm so present to the moment. And so that's how you want to be with the woman, because she wants that. Like women want a man that can be present to the moment, because that's when you can create these amazing spontaneous experiences, right? Like interesting things happen when you could be present in the moment. When you're stuck in your head, it's like you can't flow. You can't flow. And the universe has so many surprises for us when we can be present to the moment. So many amazing opportunities and experiences can happen. All right, so basically, you know, you have great vibes on a date. You know, you go for the kiss at some point, you know what I mean? If you're both looking at each other and she's looking at you and there's like a silence or whatever, you know, you could just be like, you know, you're actually really cute. Or, you know, you actually have beautiful eyes. Or you say something and she's like, oh, thank you. And then you kind of just go in for it or whatever. Or you know when to do it, man. You just got to feel out the vibes. And if that moment doesn't come up, then don't force it, right? Maybe you're going to have to go on another date, or maybe towards the end of the date, you go for the kiss. But as the man, you're going to have to lead. You're going to have to make these, you know, hit these little milestones that are necessary to make a girl fall in love with you, right? Because you have to create the romance. The romance needs to be there, but it's not like no weak shit. It's like, it's just you leading and knowing what to do when it's time to do it. All right, so then, okay, let's say you go on a date. If it's really good vibes, I recommend like pulling the girl back to your place so you can continue the vibes, right? If it's really good vibes, like if the girl's being really receptive, she's submitting to your masculine energy. I'm just realizing like how long this video. I gotta see if I can shorten this up, right? So you pull her to your place. If the vibes is not on point like that, just be like, hey, I had a great time, whatever. We should hang out some other, you know, continue this another day or whatever. I got to get home, you know, I got to get up for work in the morning or whatever, right? So you end it, make sure you end the date, all right? And then you kiss her goodbye or whatever. If you created good vibes and she had a good time, she's probably going to text you, like on the way home, like, oh, thank you so much, had a great time, whatever. Probably some emojis or whatever. And then that's how you know you created a good vibe, like you're in there. Okay, and then basically, to make this video, because this video looks like it's going to be super long, so I'm going to try to cut it. So basically, you know, once you have a great date or whatever, let's say you pull her back to your place. You know, my mentality is obviously, if I get a girl back to my place, obviously I want to seal the deal. Like, why not? I'm a masculine man who embraces his sexuality, and I have no problem leading, and I have no problem, you know, going for what I want. And so that should be, if she agrees to go back to my place, it should be obvious, like, okay, this dude's probably gonna make a move. So I'm assuming she knows that. However, I'm not gonna be how she thinks. When the girl comes over, I'm not on no thirsty shit. I give her space the whole time, right? I get on my piano, I might play a song, I might put on some music, I might turn on a movie, I might just pull out, you know, hey, let's have a beer or something. Like, it's gonna be vibes. I'm not gonna push nothing sexual at all until she initiates something sexual. You see what I'm saying? Like, if she touches me or she grabs me or whatever, then I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna make no move until she's ready for it, because that's how you play this game. That's the right way to play it. You don't want to have no last minute resistance. I feel like last minute resistance comes up when you like force the shit. But if you just chill out, enjoy the vibes, and create a great experience for her, like a unique experience, you know what I mean? Don't focus on sex. Know that, okay, when the time's right, you're gonna go for it, but don't focus on that when she's at your place. And then if she's feeling on you, whatever, then you go for it. You make your move, you grab her, whatever, you kiss her, you do your thing. Now, if you end up pulling her and you seal the deal and you have great sex or whatever, that's a huge milestone, because if she let you have sex with her, that means that clearly she's really into you. Especially like if you know, there was a process like from beginning, like, okay, you cold approached her, you got her number, you went on a date, she came back to your place, right? And ideally, you know, I like it when the interaction was sober for majority of the interaction, right? She was sober because, you know, if she's basically receptive to everything I'm doing and she's sober, that means it's real, it's genuine. Versus, you know, if she's under some kind of influence, it's like, you know, she's probably gonna later blame it on that. Like, oh no, I didn't really like him. It was just a. So ideally, you know, I don't like to mix in influence, you know, like alcohol and stuff like that. Like I used to do it in the beginning, you know, because it makes it easier. But I realize it can also backfire on you. As I said, they can just use that as you know, I'm not really into him. I was just lit, you know. I just had alcohol, or I just was whatever. So I really just I just focus on dominating with my masculine energy. I'm also detached from the outcome too. Like that's a key thing, because as I said, like that's part of pre-selection. Like a guy who's pre-selected, he wouldn't be so attached to the outcome. Like of course, you know, if he's a healthy man, he's gonna want to get the girl or whatever. But if he has pre-selection, meaning he has other women, then it's like, okay, you know, if she's not accepting his frame, like I am a grounded masculine man who's dominant, who leads, who's assertive, who takes charge, and I'm sexual. If she's not receptive to that, then it's like, okay, well, guess what? I have other women who are, and so you'll actually back off, and she'll feel that, and she'll be like, oh shit, you know, I don't want to lose this dude, because you come off as you become a challenge to her. Like she needs to, you know what I mean? She needs to get you. Like she needs to break you. But if you don't break, then she's just gonna submit. You know what I mean? Like that's literally the game, right? Like a shit test is designed to break you so she can say, oh yeah, he wasn't strong enough for me. But if you pass the shit test, then she knows, oh, he is strong enough for me, right? So, you know, you seal the deal. Let's say you seal the deal that night. Cool. Probably gonna text you, be like, hey, that was amazing. And then basically, man, you just, for the rest of the relationship, you gotta stay the guy who got the girl. Like this is where guys mess up. It's like the guy who you are that got the girl in the beginning, you need to stay that guy, but he needs to evolve throughout the relationship. Because what happens is when guys get a girl, they start to get complacent. They're like, oh, I got her. You know, I had sex with her. Oh, I got her. You know what I mean? No, you don't got her. You gotta keep her interested. You gotta remember, this is a competition. There is plenty of men out there that she can easily get access to. So if you start slipping and getting weak and shit, remember we got social media, we got all these dating apps. Like, bro, women are in a ton of abundance. So it's, I mean, I like to look at it as they keep me sharp, because I realize if I slack, then some guy can easily come and swoop up my woman. So I'm not gonna slack. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep amplifying and evolving consistently, so I can keep women interested and also keep leveling up the quality of women I get and the amount of women I get. So I'll never find myself in no bullshit, you know, scarcity situation where it's like, oh fuck, you know, I can't get a girl. Fuck that. Continue evolving. If you were able to get a girl in the past, then you should be able to get more girls now, and you should be able to get higher quality girls. And if not, you're not evolving, you're not growing, you're not tapping into your potential, right? So that's kind of how I see it. So for me, you know, making a girl fall in love, I really just focus on the attraction, man, honestly. Like just staying attractive and amplifying that shit as much as I can. However much pre-selection I was showing in the beginning, I start showing more. Okay, I'm not trying to fall in love. I'm not with that. I'm making her fall in love. So I'm gonna demonstrate attractive qualities. Now, as the relationship goes further, you're gonna have to pay attention to her personality too, because yes, you can trigger attraction and stuff, but after a while, it's like she'll start to notice whether you guys are actually whether you actually make a good fit or not, right? Because after a while, no matter what, the emotions, like in the beginning of the relationship, they call it the honeymoon phase, like that's just gonna start to subside or dissolve after time, and she's gonna start to see more clearly. And if she sees that you're not really matched up with her personality, she'll start to be like, oh, maybe he's not the one, you know. So now in the beginning, it's like focus on attraction, be sexy, be masculine, be dominant, you know, be alpha, all those things. But then as the relationship continues, you gotta pay attention to her personality. Like where does her attention go? Like what is she into? What is she like? You know, what's important to her? What does she value? And you want to demonstrate that you have that you can create whatever those experiences are that she's seeking. Because if you can't create it, you're not going to be demonstrating survival. Like her values replication value, our value survival value. What is survival value? Basically, when she gets with you, she's supposed to survive better, meaning she's supposed to experience a better quality of life. And for women, it's really just emotions, right? She needs to get the emotions she wants. She needs to feel like she has a sexy guy in her life, but also a guy that understands her. It's like that's the personality part. It's like, okay, yeah, you got to be sexy and stuff, but if you're not making sense to her, you can start to depart, right? Like it can start to break away. But you know, that's why I'd rather be on the attraction side, because even if the personalities don't mesh, if you're really attractive, like if you're really communicating survival on a DNA level, her body and her emotions are going to take over her logic, right? So even though it logically wouldn't make sense for her to be with you, she's still going to want to be with you because you're triggering attraction in her, and she can't, it's very hard to override that, right? So for me, that's how I do it, man. Like, I make girls fall in love with me by just being extremely attractive and consistently staying that way and evolving throughout the relationship, but also paying attention to their personality. And I don't break frame. I don't give a fuck. Like, I've took enough L's to know that a woman's gonna try to seduce you and turn you beta, and as soon as you turn beta, she's gonna lose attraction for you, and then, you know, that's when the relationship starts fucking up. And so you just, after, you know, for me, after taking enough L's, it's like, I get it, man. I get the game. I understand the game. It's not roses and sunshine, and I accept that. I'm okay with that, and that's just the way it is. And I'm not going to apologize for being a grounded, masculine man who's dominant, who knows the truth about female nature, who knows the truth about attraction, and I will apply that truth, right? And I will get the results, and that's just what it is. Okay, and I'm not going back to the old me. The old me used to try to follow the Disneyland fairy tale. Oh yeah, just be a nice guy and make her feel good and this and that. No, bro, no, it doesn't. That doesn't actually work. And when it does work, it's because you're getting used. And once she's done using you, you're done, right? So I don't know. This was the whole point of this was how to make a girl fall in love with you. I feel like what I've done is I've tried to bring it into like I've taken like a presentation that could be super long, because making a girl love you, that's like a lot. That's a very complex thing. Actually, I might even do like a series or something on this topic, but I tried to like summarize it for you. You know, like how I do it, right? There's different ways to make a girl fall in love with you. I'm telling you how I did it. And all the girls that I made fall in love with me, they were all from Cold Approach. All from Cold Approach. None of them were social circle. None of them were online dating, right? So that's why I'm like, yo, Cold Approach, because that's where all my successes come from. You know what I mean? But and it's not like I'm just getting laid. Like, these girls are falling in love, right? Like, they fall in love. Like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. Like, shit like that. And it's literally me just really understanding the game of attraction and applying it to the best of my, ability, and not falling off code. Like, staying on that code, staying on that attraction code, staying alpha, staying masculine, right? So that's my advice on how to approach a woman and make her fall in love with you. If you're interested in Cold Approach, if you're interested in being able to walk up to women that you find attractive and create attraction, make them attracted to you, and then make them fall in love with you, and you want this to be a skill that you have that you can consistently do over and over again, join the Unbreakable Beast Tribe. In that group, I will show you how to eliminate your fear of approaching women, how to overcome the fear of rejection, all those things that are holding you back from approaching women. And I'll show you how to develop unbreakable self-confidence, where you can walk up to women with confidence and express yourself authentically and lead these women into romantic and sexual relationships. All right, I'll drop a link to the group in the comment section, and I'll see you inside. Peace.